Okay. I said yesterday I was considering doing Tyrion Cuthbert today, and I'm sticking to my, I guess, what I said I would maybe do. I'm also gonna be busy next week, very much so, well, most likely busy. No, I'm gonna be busy next week, so I don't wanna do 2 of these streams next week. Although I may also stream Wednesday anyway, and then stream Sword of the Sea. We'll see. We will see. Depends on the time and the place. As a review, we need a review. Even though it's been like what, a little more than 24 hours. Okay. Our victim, asshole. His daughter met him in her in the second case. His youngest daughter, his middle daughter, who was supposed to be marry this guy from the third case. She's supposed to marry his son as an arranged marriage. The oldest daughter, the prodigal daughter, who is a suspected killer, who we know didn't necessarily kill him, but was an accomplice. Does not seem like she's necessarily 100% a good person. Ruby, who's working with her, and with Eris, whose father is maybe supposedly the eye taker. Harold Harrodson, who is the museum caretaker, who also does not like the victim. The guy from the second case. The prince's brother, I think? Either the brother or cousin or something like that. Good old version of Gumshoe in this game. The guy that was keeping her alive because she was attacked, and then she made illusion magic to make herself look like she wasn't attacked, and he was keeping her somewhat healthy. And our 2 lovers. Well, I mean, like not current lovers, but I mean, come on now. Alright. Oh boy. I tore into my surrogate mother and beat her. Or at least kept the case from ending that time. And fucked her over royally. So I could tell you she is not happy. Thank you all for coming here today. As William Fager's close associate, I must express my deepest condolences for your loss. Like I speak for all Wyvern when I say, enough, just get on with it. Very well then. To get straight to the point, Lord Fager's will was magically sealed when it was given to me. He asked me, his executor, not to submit it to the courts for probate until after his death. But I imagine none of us expected such a time would come so suddenly. Anyways, Lord Fager's assets included sole ownership of several banking houses throughout Rivengard, 10 million gold and various investments. 10 million? And lastly, sole control and ownership of the Fager noble house. I, William Fager, being of sound mind and body, do hereby declare this to be my last will and testament. I hereby give, devise, and bequeath all of my assets and property, both real and personal, to Jaden von Sanctus, provided that he enters into a legal and binding engagement with my daughter, Lord Lafay Fager, within 6 months of the date of my death. What? That's... he fuck... Wait, you say willingly? Legal and binding engagement within 6 days. He's giving his daughter out? Holy shit. Alright. I mean, you're a completely piece of shit dad and a horrible person, but that's not bad. In the event that Jaden von Sanctus does not enter into such an engagement within a specified time frame, my assets and property shall be distributed as such. All of the house Fager will be divided equally among my children as per the laws of our kingdom. Oopsie doopsie. She's like, okay. So in other words, if I just wait 6 months, me and my sisters, my lovable sisters who have done no wrong, supposedly, get all we want. And our dad's dead. Our piece of shit dad's dead. Isn't this great, Beatrice? You can lead House Frigga now, just as it should have been. Actually, about that, in light of recent events, I believe I should clarify one thing. As per the Slayer rule, if Beatrice Frigga is found guilty in the current court case, her inheritance will be revoked and divided between you and your sister. I see. Ooh, you happy about that? That can't be all, can it? Surely William added a note of life as an obligation to marry my son. I'm not sure what you're trying to imply. If I figure as an adult with legal autonomy, she is free to make whatever decision she wishes about who she legally marries. And if you excuse me... Get fucked, Von Sanctus. Wait, we're not finished yet. Come back here. I'd love to catch up with you, Larfae, but I was only allowed out of my cell to attend the reading. But don't worry, I'm sure once this misunderstanding is resolved, we can talk all we want about our family's future. Of course. About what I did. Look, I'm not angry, Cuthbert. Oh, it was an extremely unforeseen situation, and Steven clearly put you on the spot. You felt pressure to do something and you made a rash decision. But I'm sure the court will understand if you withdraw. Wait, what? Cuthbert, you're not a prosecutor, you know that, right? Didn't you become an attorney to defend persecuted mages? But Beatrice is guilty, I saw it. I'm not going to argue about this again. You are going to withdraw. This is not up for discussion. Is Celeste gonna comfort you? You're gonna look at Celeste and you're gonna get the words you need? There you go. There you go. I'm not going to do that, Miss Timora. What? You said it yourself. A court system needs a defense attorney and a prosecutor of equal power to keep things fair. That's not what I'm not going to withdraw. If you believe in Beatrice's innocence, if you truly believe you're on the right side, then prove it by beating me. Fine, do what you want, but you're only going to make things harder for everyone. $5 says that he's gonna win the case, and then it's gonna be like straight up, she's gonna get like stabbed or something. It's gonna be his fault. Tyrion? Oh Lord, that's the first time I ever spoken to her like that. But you still did it. You stood your ground. Figuratively, I mean. Right now, you're kind of just sitting on the floor. Yeah, I need to take a moment. Can we go back to the ballroom? You okay? No. Yeah, I just needed a moment. Anyways, the will reading brought us a few more hours to investigate the murder. We should take advantage of the new information we just learned. So, where should we start first? This is weird, right? Yep. Awkwardness aside, I've never really led a task force before. What would Steve normally do in this situation? Well, she'd normally have us investigate areas of interest. Right, the context of the investigation tends to change after each round of court proceedings. Well, we're lacking a lot of physical evidence. Could you and the Inquisition search the gallery in Beatrice's room? Perhaps you can find evidence of how the sword of spout eating was stolen. Whatever you say, boss. Again, that covers the Inquisition, but what are we gonna do? It's clear that Lord Frigga's inheritance plays a large role in this case. Even if it's not valid, we should take a look at the modified will that he was drafting. It might give us some insight about what he was really planning to do with his inheritance. I just can't wrap my head around it. Beatrice murdered her own father for what? Wealth and power? That's just how the aristocracy works. Even the weakest noble has a large amount of political power. Sometimes I feel lucky that I grew up in Cornhaven. Where should we go next? William retreated to his study to draft a new will. Even if it's not valid, we should try to look for it there. It might give us some insight into the headspace he was in at that night. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Come on, where is it? Why isn't it here? Where else would he put it? Miriam? What? This is a crime scene. What are you doing here, Miriam? As if that's any of your business. Considering that I am the prosecutor, it's very much my business. You appear to be looking for something, Miriam. Would it be so important that you disturb an active crime scene? It's none of your concern. I'm merely trying to find something that belongs to me. Really? Because I have a feeling that you might be looking for the same thing. Looking for the will that your father was drafting, aren't you? That's... Were you trying to destroy it before we can get to it? No, of course not. I just needed to see it for myself. Why are you so determined to see the drafted will, Miss Freka? I just wanted to see what my father's final wishes were. But your father already had a will filed previously. Wouldn't that be enough? You also suspect something, don't you? Of course not. Beatrice would never do something like this. Miss Freka, I've never even mentioned Beatrice. I know how things may look, but please understand, I'm just trying to get to the truth. I don't think your sister did this. But she may have been involved. She may have worked with someone else to orchestrate her father's death. Where's the will, Miriam? I need to see it. I don't know. I haven't been able to find it. It should have been here, but I can't find it. He locked the door and he began drafting it. In order to do that, the Inquisition closed the area off after the body was discovered. That means someone took it during the lockdown. I'm still going with my wolf theory. It's probably stolen by whoever murdered him, right? Yeah, that would make the most sense. Which means that whoever did this wanted to nullify whatever was written on it. Anyways, it looks like we won't be able to find the will. But the fact that it was taken must imply something. But now we should follow our other leads. There's also the question of who committed the murder and how. Don't we already know the how? The murderer stole the sword of spell leading and used it to break into the study. That's true, but think about how they would have needed to move around the manor. The murder took place on the first floor in William Frega's study, which is over here. But the gallery was on the second floor, and on the other side, they would have needed to go upstairs, steal the sword from gallery, then use it to nullify the lock on the study. Not only that, they would have needed to go back upstairs and plant the sword in Beatrice's room. About that, if someone conspired with Beatrice to do this, why would they plant the sword in her room? That's a good point. Perhaps they had a falling out. Her partner might have tried to betray her by putting the blame on her. If that were true, why wouldn't she just sell them out and make a deal with Steelwind? It would be because of the Slayer War. Slayer War? I remember that guy at the will meetings also mentioned that. What is it? It was a law passed by the Crown centuries ago. According to the law, if someone is involved in another person's death, even accidentally, they will not be allowed to inherit the deceased's property. At least it's better than the rules that were in Spirit of Justice. Goddamn. So even if Beatrice wasn't directly responsible, she'd lose her cut of the inheritance if she took the plea deal. What if Beatrice... Oh, no, that's a little rough. I bet you Beatrice didn't do it for... just so they can fuck the nobles. There must be some reason why she's working with these people and needs the money. Man, it almost sounds like you suspect Beatrice as well. That's... Am I incorrect? I don't know what to think anymore. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Miriam, did Beatrice threaten you in some way? What? Of course not. Testimony yesterday was quite convenient for the defense. It almost got the whole case thrown out. And I didn't seem to understand what was going on either. But the way she gave her testimony yesterday, it was almost like she was covering for you. Please, promise me that you won't tell anyone about this. I won't tell anyone what happened. About an hour after the murder, I was approached by Ruby Timora. She gave me a list of statements to give in my testimony. The statements weren't true, but she assured me that my status would protect me from any scrutiny. What? She had information that I had tried to keep a secret, and she threatened to make it public unless I cooperated with her. No. No, she would never do that. I'm telling the truth. Please, you can't tell Timora that I told you. She'll ruin me. Orm Wright was right. Our teacher's a snake. Hey, Tyrion, are you okay? You should check on Commander White. He might have found something. Okay. Just don't push yourself, okay? Yeah. No, too late for that. And just because of that, just because you gave me that information, I'm gonna show you a picture of, I don't know. Can't believe someone attacked Arya. I hope she's okay. Never expected you to care that much about her. Of course I care about her. I mean, how can I prove I'm better than her if she falls at the hand of some common brute? Ah, you do care! Interesting. I guess maybe she wouldn't remember her. You don't remember her. Beatrice, she's changed so much since I last saw her. What was she like before? She was far quicker to anger before. She never cared about decorum. Interesting! She looks so composed and calm now, like she's a totally different person. How about Daddy Dearest? What can you tell about your father, Miriam? I'm sure you know a lot about him already. This trial has made his character very apparent. And you don't want to refute any of the statements made against him? No, let's keep on going with this. What? Interesting. Okay. What's your relationship like? What's your relationship like with Lafe? Non-existent. We barely see each other. Really? But she's your sister. Because of her marriage to Von Santis, my dad has kept her confined to the manor. I spent almost all my time at the academy. Honestly, with a dad like that, I kind of understand where you're coming from. Okay. Oh, hey kid. Hey there. Commander. We're still doing a deep search of the room, but we're not done yet. We should probably come back later. Okay. What the? Oh, I can tell who this guy is already. You can. This guy must be Steelwind's. Must be Arya's father. Because what's his name? Von Santos says he doesn't care about economy. He doesn't care about money. All he cares about is power, pure brute power. And this guy holds a fucking axe. I mean, come on now. This aura. You must be deaf if you think I wouldn't notice your presence. Wait, Quadigus. it's you two. What the hell was that? You could have killed him. He shouldn't have snuck up on me like that. I almost cleaved him in two. Tyrion didn't do anything wrong. Who the hell do you think you are? I am Lord Elysial Steelwood. Once again, called that. Grand General of the Wyvern Guard Military Forces. He's the Grand General? That's a cool design. Celeste, it's fine. I'm not hurt. Let's talk. I didn't expect some of your status to recognize me. I know of you, and the infamous Ruby Timora. Right. I also know that my daughter has failed to defeat you once. I await the day when she tears you down from your throne. Oh, okay. Miss McCoy, the Crimson Demon. How do people keep learning about that name? Please, House Steelwind secures the borders of Rivengard. Don't think I'm unaware of your illegal travels to the Eastern Kingdoms. Yeah, you want to arrest me? Let's see how that goes. Can you stop antagonizing him? Okay. Daughter dearest? I've heard you don't approve of Arya becoming a prosecutor. Of course I don't. A member of the House Steelwind shouldn't debase themselves by doing the work of a civil servant. But she clearly has her own motivations for doing so. Is that how you see it? She's merely following the misguided path of the Crown Prince. Interesting. Okay, you're not gonna react to this. Okay. You're not gonna care about... I'll do you, then you... Then you, then you, and then you. Then you, then you. Okay. Beatrice Frege is a remarkable maid. It's truly a shame that this is how it turned out. I'm surprised to hear you say that. I assume most of the nobility hated her. If you're correct, then most of the nobility are imbeciles. At the age of 13, she surpassed her father's magical talents. If she had been allowed to develop, she could have revolutionized the study of conjuration magic. She would have been a great asset to our kingdom. Hey, you know what? If you're pulling your weight, I can get behind that. If you pull your weight, you're good. We're in Frege, a fool to the very end. From what I've heard, you two weren't on the best of terms. That more I believe that every problem in our kingdom could be solved with gold. He failed to see the dangers posed to our kingdom. What this kingdom needs is a sharp weapon and an iron fist to wield it. Do you act this? Lord Harrison, I can't believe it took this long for William to deal with his defiance. Oh, great. But if it were up to me, I'd have the old fool executed for treason. Oh boy. Okay. Respect lost. I've been told that House Steelwind controls Rivengard's military. We don't control the military. We control the very foundation that maintains order in our kingdom. Those fools in the palace have no idea what it takes to lead a nation. These recent common folk uprisings are evidence of that fact. I'm not a big fan of this. McCoy, one might misinterpret that look of yours as a murderous intent. Guess you do have some battle instincts after all. I honestly wasn't sure, since you so obviously have a silver spoon stuck up your... Celeste! There's a lack of respect and discipline. If you were one of my soldiers, I'd have you hanged. If I was one of your soldiers, I'd hang myself. Okay. Good retort. Good one, Celeste. Okay, let's all try to stay civil here. Lord Steelwind, you were here at the Lord's ball when the murder occurred, am I right? I was. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about what you saw that night? If that's okay with you. I suppose I must oblige, considering that my daughter has so unceremoniously thrust her responsibilities onto you. I'm sorry about what happened to your daughter. I'm sure that you're very worried. It's her own fault for exerting herself despite her injuries. Ah, he cares. Even the bravest warriors know when to stay off the battlefield. How could you say that? Your daughter was trying to do the right thing by prosecuting the heiress of House Frege. There's very little evidence to substantiate a conviction. If she wanted to strike a blow on a rival house, she should have been certain that her enemy would fall. Not completely incorrect, but now, if House Frege is found innocent, any hopes of alliance between House Frege and House Tyrion would have been completely annihilated. Oh, oops. Where were you throughout the night, Lord Steelwind? I so loathe gatherings like that. They're a complete waste of time. I was in this room, but then I received word that Lord Frege's lost heiress had made an unexpected appearance. She was supposedly speaking with the crown prince, so I made my way to the ballroom. Did you speak with him at any point? No, I kept my distance and stayed near the Kingsguard. Was this because you were wary of Beatrice Frege? Yes, I was. The crown prince has always been a bleeding heart, and the Freges are trained to sharpen their tongue from birth. I needed to make sure that she wouldn't try to interfere with his engagement. You were worried that she was going to try to take Asta back. I was, but it was clear that it wasn't her intention. But you did overhear the conversation. What were they talking about? The conversation was completely inane. It was all just small talk. Lady Frege spent most of her time playing with Prince Alaric. You went to the ball when you heard that Beatrice had returned. Was this before or after the lockdown? It was before the lockdown. Okay. Did you see her leave at any point? No, she spoke with the two princes for quite a while. She didn't leave their side until she was arrested for Lord Frege's murder. Once again, I feel like this is going back to the idea that she used a wolf familiar to go in and kill the guy with the sword attached to the wolf familiar to deactivate the anti-magic field. Killed him and then brought the sword to her bedroom and then deactivated it? Why would you bring the sword to your own bedroom? Why would you try and implicate yourself? Well, no, she can't put it into the room with her sisters. I think she actually does love her sisters. So that's a moot point. Yes, I think that is the case. Thank you for answering our questions, Lord Steelwind. I'm merely repaying my daughter's debt to you. Anyways, we should probably move somewhere else. Let's go, Celeste. McCoy. What? Your spellcast is undisciplined, but your battle sense and reflexes are commendable. You have my respect as a warrior. As if that means anything coming from you. What an undisciplined and defiant brat. Are you done here? Keep it in that corner. Don't let it get away. Get away from him. There you go. It's I'll say the man of the hour. It's the animal of the hour. Wait, is that? I can read the thoughts of the wolf? What? Wait, Tyrion? Stay back, kid. It's a wild animal. There's no telling what it'll do. Don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you. Like it's cute now. Huh? It's human. He can speak language of dog? Wait, you can understand me? What? Are you talking to it? You're speaking plain dog, of course. Of course. Tracker understands. Tracker? Fuck. Hold on. I've heard that word before. Where did I hear that word tracker before? someone had a conversation about tracker before and used that word before. I can't remember. Tracker like you, friend. You smell nice. Oh, thank you. What did he say? He told me that I smell nice. Oh yeah, I kind of see what he means. What? What? Done. Okay. My queen's a good friend. She saved Tracker when Tracker was pup. Is that how you end up becoming a pet? Yeah, I always hear about other animals joining humans, but Tracker didn't understand until he met Queen. Now I give Queen protection, and Queen give me honey bacon. Wait, is this yours? Is this Lapis? Tracker, is that your name? How did you... Yes, Tracker is Tracker. That's the name Queen gave to me. He called you his queen. Do you know him, laughing? Yes, but how are you talking to it? That's... Wait, if that's... I'm under the assumption that it's been Beatrice's wolf the whole time. Oh, boy. No, hold on. Wolf's theory still stands. It would still stand in the small possibility that she made it familiar, left the dog with the family to spy on them, and then it's ended up becoming... Is there distance on... Over any distance? Okay. Okay. Ready? Huh. And she's like a fucking genius mage. So it's 100% possible that she could have made a familiar bond and then just let him stay in the family. What were the lines he said specifically? Save Tracker when Tracker was pup. That's my theory so far. Where else would you introduce familiar bond? Once the bond is formed, neither the caster nor the target can form bonds with any other creature. Alright, so we're gonna have to prove that it's hers probably at some point. That's... A dog whisperer. You never mentioned that before. Do you honestly expect us to believe something like that? But Tracker says he can understand him. He told me himself. Wait, how do you know that? So, how are you able to communicate with Tracker? I suppose there's no sense of hiding it anymore. Tracker's my familiar. Oh god, okay, throw that out. Throw out everything that I had. Throw it out. I'm still keeping that this dog is important, but I don't think this dog is necessarily the killer. But he definitely broke down on the letter opener, I still think. But if he's her familiar, that throws out a lot of stuff. Familiar, so it's the same magical bond Harold has with his monkey. And she understands him. If she understands what he's saying, then they have to be connected, which means that he cannot be Beatrice's familiar. Wouldn't that make her the killer? You never mentioned him during questioning. It wasn't relevant to the investigation. And I've been keeping him a secret from my family. I suppose that makes sense. I doubt William Figure would have allowed you to keep an animal in his home. Well, I don't appreciate you keeping this info from us. but it doesn't look like anyone got hurt. Aside from this dog, we haven't really found anything new. Tracker, I saw you on the night of the murder. What? Tracker. What? Whoa, Raggy! I got this go. Hey, they look straight face. Who in his fucking face? Okay. Woo woo. He's supposed to stay in this room. Wait, is that why you won't allow the servants to enter it? I didn't want to keep him in Beatrice's room, but he was very insistent that he stay here. Tracker likes the ambience. Right. Wait, if you live in this room, did you see who brought the sword of spell eating here? I already asked him about that, but he didn't see anyone. He must have been taking a nap. Either that or he was roaming outside even though I told him to stay here. Damn it. Tracker see a lot of other things though. Tracker see many new people that night. Can you tell us what you saw on the night of the murder, Tracker? Tracker see rats. Need to be more specific. Can you go in order? Tell me what everything you saw that night. Okay. Tracker was taking a nap in a room, but Tracker woke up from loud sounds outside. Tracker hears small things running in the walls. Running in the walls? Tracker called Queen, but she didn't answer. So Tracker decided to check sound alone. Tracker followed sound outside. That's when Tracker smelled the bad smell. Bad smell? That's when Tracker smelled flying rat. You smelled a flying rat? Do you mean like a pigeon? Tracker could smell where Rat was, so Tracker barked at him. Tracker must have scared Rat because he fell onto the floor and dropped his stick. Wait a second. Is my theory back on the table? But I just got the wrong fucking animal? Did they fucking bait me with showing the dog right before she talked about the familiar stuff? Just so they can make me think that this was her dog? When she actually has another animal familiar? Or somebody else has an animal familiar? It's not to be Beatrice. The rat had a stick? Tracker could see them now, so Tracker did one final bark to scare them off. The rats were scared and went back into the walls. They went into the walls? That's when Tracker picked up the stick Rat dropped. Queen finally answered Tracker. She told him to go back to the room and hide. After message, Tracker brings stick back to room for inspection. Remember what time this encounter happened? What is time? Well, that is a deep question for you to be asking. What did he say, Tyrion? Did he say anything? Okay. So, stick is obviously the sword. He heard the rats. We know for a fact from, because wherever they give us this fucking testimony, if it wasn't important. Woken by the sounds of physical struggle. Didn't he say something about rats? Right about. Yeah. The servants found, because we complained about the sound of rats went to the vents. Okay, so how long was this ago? Was this just a day or a couple days ago? Has there been rat familiar things inside the manor since before the night of the murder? Tracker heard rats running the vents. Yep, here we go. And then he heard the struggle. Okay. Oh. By anti-magic field. Okay. Which means that the lockdown had been activated. Tracker, why did you refer to the rat as flying? Because rats don't usually jump and fly. Yes, I got that. Is it possible that what you saw wasn't really a rat? Rats, they're small things that run and hide. The sword, the stick that Trek obtained was actually the sword of spell eating. Bam! Because he got that. So he did have it at some point. I was partially right about the wolf having the sword of spell eating at one point. Tracker, about that stick you found. Where did you put it after you came back to this room? Tracker hid stick in safe space under bed. And the stick didn't look like the sword that my friend is carrying. What? Hey, your friend stole my other stick. Wait, your other stick? Yeah, Tracker found it while he was hiding from the metal men. Wait. He left the bedroom and they were searching for this. Wait, are you the one who stole Celeste's sword? Tracker! Did Tracker do her bad? It's as I suspected. Tracker was the one that brought the sword of spell eating here. What? I have no idea how or why, but the sword of spell eating was lying in the hallway somewhere. Tracker found it and brought it back to Beatrice's room, his room. That can't be, so the person who framed Beatrice for the theft was... Do you mind if I borrow Tracker for a little bit? It's okay, Queen. He smelled good. Tracker trusts him. Thanks, I guess? Okay, but only if you allow me to accompany you. Alright, Tracker. Can you take us to where in the hallway where you found these rats? Sure thing, King. Looks like you've received a promotion. Let's go! I'm the king! Wait, if I present now the sword... Oh, I can't present him with a sword or a stick or food. Can I give him food? I got no food to give this dog. What type of game is this? I can't even pet him. Alright. Oh, hold on. I'm going to the restroom. Okay. Hallway. The location. Hey, an open vent. Tracker? What's wrong? Enemy. Oh, get the fuck away from this dog. Oh dear. Tracker, stop that. No, keep on continuing. I'm terribly sorry. He's not usually like this. It's to be expected. I'm not sure why, but animals have always been able to see me from... God damn it again. She mind fucked me. I'm not sure why, but animals have always disliked me. God damn. It always freaks me out when they do that. It's gonna cut to Celeste, and she's also gonna be fucking this freaking out. What are you doing here, Eris? I should be asking you the same thing. I recall you telling me that you were a defense attorney. And here you are, prosecuting a defendant. You're even leading the Inquisition that you supposedly hate so much. But to answer your question, I'm here on behalf of Beatrice. My sister? Yes, Tamora is occupied handling other aspects of the case. She sent me here to investigate on her behalf. What? She would have to trust you a lot to handle something so important. How do you two even know each other? You said she was acquainted with your father, but... we met during her days at the Imperial Academy. You both studied illusion magic together. Wait, who did? Her and Beatrice? Oh, you two, you mean, maybe. I've always been a patron of hers. It saddens me to see her in this dreadful situation. Oh. No, her and Beatrice. Wait. What? What? Oh, the accident! The accident that lost Beatrice's her eyes. That accident. What do you mean dialogue? Jesus fucking Christ, he's creepy. I'll ask about Ruby Time more, and I'll ask about... No dialogue whatsoever? What about Beatrice? What about herself? What? What the? These crystals supposedly generated an anti-magic field during the lockdown. However, the sort of spell leading would make its wielder immune to these fields. Okay.
Arcanum.
What? What do you see? The vents have traces of illusion magic inside them. What? The traces also go deep inside these vents. It's the same for the vents on the other side too. Okay. There's an air vent over here. It appears to go from the ceiling to the ground floor. Is that what that rat escaped to, Tracker? That's where the jumping rat went. I thought you said it was a flying rat. Tracker, see that too. Well, jumping one's probably the monkey that Harold Harrelson has. Anyways, where did this rat come from? Rat come out the other wall. You mean the vent on the opposite side? Yes, Tracker saw flying rat escape that way. Why would there be traces of illusion magic inside the vents? What spell could have possibly have left those traces? As I told you many months ago, illusion spells tend to do one of two things. They either create freestanding illusions, or they can disguise an existing creature. I doubt someone created a small, freestanding illusion in the vents, so a disguised creature must have been inside these vents at some point. These vents are tiny, no one would be able to fit inside them. But a rat would be able to fit in these vents. Well, yeah, I guess that'd be true. But that would mean a rat had an illusion spell active on it at that time. It's not only that. How would the rats have illusion magic on them if there was an anti-magic field going on? Chaka saw this rat during the lockdown. They would have been inside the anti-magic field created by the lockdown. Huh, I just said. There could only be one way for that rat could have had an illusion spell active on it. Wait, you can't mean that rat was holding this sort of spell eating. What? But how's that possible? A rat wouldn't have the strength to or hands to carry the sword. Tracker's vocabulary is primitive and limited. He used the word rat to describe small creatures that hide and act suspiciously. But even if it wasn't an actual rat, it still couldn't have been a human, right? You're right, it would have been a small animal. A small animal with the strength and dexterity to traverse a small air vent while holding a sword. No, are you serious? We know Harold had a motive to kill William Frege. He was planning to defund the Harrison Hall of History. They had an argument that night, and that's when William Frege decided that he was going to defund Harold's museums. He must have struck a deal with Beatrice, and with Beatrice's portion of the House Frege, she could have easily kept his museums funded. He could have faked the robbery and sent his familiar to murder William. I can't believe this. And there's something else that Tracker said. Tracker, you said that you had to smell to see where the rat was. And when he dropped his stick, you were finally able to see him. Does this mean you couldn't visually see him before he fell down? Yeah, Tracker couldn't see the rat with his eyes, so Tracker used his nose to see it. The monkey was invisible. No one would have noticed a small invisible animal. In addition to that, he moved through the air vents. Eugene would have been nearly undetectable that night. Beatrice is a master of illusion magic, so it's possible that she cast invisibility on Eugene. And then there's a position of this air vent. We're currently in the hallway north of Beatrice's room, so right here. And this air vent connects to the ground floor. If you align the two floor maps together, this ant must lead to the storage room, right next to the study. Right, the air vent there curved upwards. That's supposed to be where it leads. And according to Jan, the air vent led directly to William's study. Would have been the perfect route to enter William's study and leave undetected. But he wouldn't have needed to nullify the lock to enter that room. Why would he need to use the sword of spell leading at all? Because of a familiar bond, they could telepathically communicate with each other. He would probably needed Eugene to hold the sword so he could tell him exactly where to go. Wait, no. That makes no sense in hindsight, and this goes against my wolf theory either too. My previous theory too. If you're holding onto the sword, wouldn't the bond not work? No, wait, lockdown makes it so it can't work. Sword means it can work. Okay, but then... And then you saw that and it drops it. The sword's magic affects anyone magically connected to the wielder, and familiar bond connects them magically. Makes sense now. Harold could have easily faked the robbery to take suspicion off of him. It's even possible that he was lying about how this blade gas was shattered. Nah. But I've known Lord Harrison for many years. I just can't believe that he'd be involved in this. Wait. Bro, but you've read his thoughts. And his thoughts, he was just like, I'm glad he's dead, but like, he didn't say that he would kill the guy. And Beatrice, there's no way she participated in a plan like this. Look, I know you don't want to suspect your sister, but it's not that. Beatrice would never trust anyone enough to work together like this. But she's completely blind, she wouldn't have much of a choice. Even so, she's not the type of person to trust her accomplice to stay quiet. She'd find a way to carry out a plan herself, and she'd only employ someone else's help if she had full control of them. Anyways, we're finished here, aren't we? Yes, thank you for letting Tracker to us laughing. I only want to help you find out what really happened. Don't make me regret trusting you, Mr. Cuthbert. If you're truly on the side of justice, then you won't. Good. Now if you excuse me. So that's it, right? We finally know who really committed the murder then. Anyways, this is definitely the lead we've been looking for. But is it really enough? We still don't have any physical evidence. It'll have to do for now. We're running out of time. We just have to call Harold to the stand to testify what he did that night. I can push him far enough, I may be able to catch him lying. I already gave my statement to the Inquisition. Is my testimony really necessary? Sorry, old timer. My orders come straight from the prosecutor. We're going to need you on the stand today. I understand. I'll do what I can to help. Court is now resumed for the trial of Beatrice Frege. Let's review yesterday's proceedings. There was much debate over William Frege's inheritance. More specifically, it was unknown whether the defendant had any claim to her father's inheritance. This detail was crucial in determining whether the defendant even had a motive to commit the murder. Luckily, the victim's will was supposedly read earlier today and is now part of the public record. What were the results of the will reading, Mr. Cuthbert? William Frege was planning to leave all of his assets to Jane von Sanctus, his hopeful son-in-law. However, this was predicated on the condition that Jane marry the victim's daughter, Lafayette, and it's clear that Miss Lafayette would never follow through on this engagement. If the engagement is not made in 6 months, William Frege's assets would be divided among his 3 daughters. I see, so there was no mention of the defendant's disinheritance. Correct, Your Honor. This means that the defendant did have something to gain from the victim's death. Your Honor, despite the confusion around the victim's inheritance, there is still very little physical evidence that implicates my client. May I remind you that William Frege was not telling the truth in yesterday's proceedings. That itself is extremely suspect. And William Frege was clearly not above manipulation and lying. True. You can't prove that she knowingly gave false testimony. I'll admit that I can't prove that. I'll also admit that there's a lack of apparent physical evidence to substantiate our case, which is why the prosecution would like to call Harold Harrison to the stand. Lord Harrison, the sword of spell leading, clearly plays a large role in the murder, and its theft is one of the few pieces of physical evidence in this case. As the gallery's curator, I believe you can further elaborate on how the sword was stolen that night. I see. Well, the court would definitely benefit from his insight. Will you lift, please escort Lord Harrison to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Of course, my name is Harold Harrison. I'm the owner and curator of the Harrison Hall of History, located in Hamheath. That's quite the alliterative occupation. Harold, could you please testify to the court about how you discovered the sword of spell leading was stolen? If it will help. Okay, I was keeping an eye on my gallery's exhibits when I noticed that my familiar hadn't returned. I called him telepathically, but he didn't respond. I became worried, so I went around the manor to search for him. About an hour later, I returned to the gallery and discovered the exhibit had held the sword of spell leading was completely destroyed. The artifact was missing, so I reported the crime to the Knights of the Ball and they activated a discreet lockdown. Luckily, we found the sword and my familiar later that night. So you went to search for your monkey, and that's why you didn't witness the theft? Yes, the thief was probably waiting for me to leave. They must have wanted to commit the crime without anyone seeing them. There's no way this guy's like completely guilty, right? Are you referring to Regine? Eugene? Eugene Harrison, Your Honor, is the name of the witness is familiar. Yes, Eugene is a spry orangutan monkey. He helps me with my day-to-day. I see. Anyways, you said that he hadn't returned. Does this mean he left you earlier in the night? Yes, he always likes to explore large buildings like Frege Manor, but he usually doesn't leave that for that long. Where is he now? Huh. You'd think he'd be here, but he isn't nowhere here. Does typically ignore you like that? Sometimes he's a young boy, so he likes to have his privacy. I tried not to pry, but I was worried about what would happen if a noble or knight came across him. He usually knows not to bother people, but you never know what might happen. Okay. You left the gallery room? Yes, as I said, I was worried that something had happened to Eugene. Where did you go during your search? Eugene usually knows to stay out of people's bedrooms, so I went downstairs and searched for him there. I checked the bathroom, sitting room, and coat room. Then I finally checked the kitchen and pantry. He might have gone there to steal some snacks. But you didn't find him in any of those places. No, I didn't. If I recall correctly, the glass was completely shattered. This is despite the presence of several abjuration spells that protected it. Yes, it would have taken an extremely powerful spell to break it like that. As you saw, the glass display was just shattered in shards. The sword of spell leading makes its wielder immune to magical effects. What use would the lockdown have? Honestly, not much. The wielder would have been immune to the anti-magic fields and the spells that prevented people from leaving. But at that point, the King's Guard just wanted to activate it for good measure. How did you eventually find Eugene that night? After an hour of silence, he finally responded to my telepathic messages. He met up with me in the galley before he went to search for the sword. This would have been after the theft was reported. Yes. Anyways, this detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony, witness. Harold. Yes, of course, Harold. Says that he went around the manor to look for Eugene. Do you think he's telling the truth? Maybe, but the so-called search for Eugene gave him a good excuse to not be seen by anyone. It's a decent alibi, if not without its flaws. If you respond with telepathic messages before they found the artifacts. Okay, but the lockdown. When did the lockdown end? Wait, hold on. How could you respond to your messages if before they found the artifact? The lockdown could not have been lifted until... How long was lockdown active until? Objection! Okay, no. Let's talk about the sword. How did you eventually find the sword of spell eating? The King's Guard and I slowly and carefully checked each room in the manor. After about an hour, we finally found the artifact under the bed of the defendant's room. Anyways, this detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony, witness. Harold. Yes, of course, Harold.
Objection!
Let's go back to this one again. And do the Eugene one. Something about the fact that he responded that gets me. The lockdown? Objection! There you go. Because he wouldn't. Okay, so yeah. Harold, you found Eugene before you went to search for the spell of sword eating. This would mean that it happened while the lockdown was still active, am I correct? Yes, as much as I worried about the artifact, Eugene's safety was far more important. That's the thing, Harold. You said that after an hour of silence, you finally received a telepathic message back from Eugene. What? So that leaves one question. How did you communicate with Eugene telepathically, if you were both within an anti-magic field? What? Harold, in response to the theft, the King's Guard activated the lockdown system to prevent anyone from leaving. That same lockdown system would have placed an anti-magic field over every inch of that manor. That field should have suppressed the telepathic abilities given to you by familiar bond. You wouldn't have been able to speak with Eugene at all. God damn, I'm flipping my lines. Mr. Cuthbert, are you accusing the witness of lying in this testimony? Please, Cuthbert has blown this entire thing out of proportion. Anti-magic is a resource-intensive spell. We can't assume that they managed to cover every inch of the manor, especially the areas that would only be accessible to a small animal. Miss Tamora, let's assume that Eugene managed to reach some sort of blind spot in the lockdown system. The magical telepathy gained by familiar bond connects two people. Even if Eugene wasn't affected by anti-magic field, Harold would be. That's very true. So how did I hear him that night? There's only one answer that makes sense, Harold. You did hear Eugene telepathically, because Eugene was wielding the sword of spell eating. What? I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert. But are you saying that the sword of spell eating was stolen by the witness's pet monkey? I am, Your Honor. It's the only way the witness's testimony makes sense. Harold Harrison, you were the one who sold the sword of spell eating, weren't you? For what reason would I have to steal something that only belongs to me? It was to take suspicion off of you, because you were the one who had William Figger killed. You staged a robbery and used the sword of spell eating to make Eugene invisible. And when you sent him through the manor's ventilation system, all you can have to him murder William Figger in his study. Well done, Cuthbert. I suppose you just can't stop yourself from pursuing a lying witness. It's what I do best, Miss Tamora. Of course. Witness, do you have anything to say in your defense? It's quite obvious, but I completely refute the prosecution's allegations. Yep. Ain't no fucking way this guy is the killer. Then do you also refute your statement about Eugene telepathically speaking with you? I know better than to lie on the stand to try to save myself. I can't explain how it happened, but I stand by my testimony. Eugene did telepathically contact me during the lockdown. Yep. Nope. Come on now. And that's your position, Cuthbert, that the witness sent a monkey to murder William Figger? It may sound ridiculous, but it's the only thing that makes sense. Or do you have evidence to refute that, Mr. Tamora? No, I fully and wholeheartedly agree with you, Mr. Cuthbert. Think about what you're saying. Wait, yep. Tyrion. Mr. Cuthbert, did you forget that you were the prosecuting Beatrice Figger? Your Honor, even as a prosecutor, it's clear that Cuthbert just can't stop himself from finding the true culprit. Wait, I also meant to say the defendant conspired with the witness to commit the crime. Oh, really? And do you have any proof of this conspiracy to commit? Oh, no, we don't. All we have is that she said that we remember hearing her say with our fucking magical eye that we cannot present as evidence to the court that she was collaborating with somebody. Of course you don't. But even so, how do we even... No, come on, Tyrion. This is dumb as shit. But let's assume that you did have the evidence to prove your statement. If this was really a plot formed by my client and the witness, what would my client even contribute to this plan? From what you said, this plot was completely carried out by Lord Harrison and his familiar. Well, the glass, he would have needed a powerful mage like a defendant to break the sword's display glass and stage the robbery. True. So her contribution to the murder was breaking some glass. Can you prove that my client shattered the display case? And can you prove that she did so knowing that it would somehow lead to her father's death? Yep, you fucking idiot. Physical evidence against my client was almost non-existent in the first place. Meanwhile, it seems prosecution has brought forth physical evidence that implicates Lord Harrison, physical evidence that is supported by his own testimony. Cuthbert, didn't you ask me something yesterday? If my client didn't kill the victim, then who did? I suppose I should thank you for finding the answer. And this isn't even like an Ace Attorney games where the prosecutor just kind of like fools like the defense attorney into like putting himself in the hole. He put himself in this hole. He really did. They're two fucking animals. Bro, come on now. They're two animals. The flying animal and the jumping animal. He saw the jumping animal. That was Eugene. And then he also saw the flying animal. You can use every trick you have, Cuthbert. It won't help you.
Naught can remain concealed.
We'll try this. Eugene, just what were you doing that night? Did you really wield the sword, if only for a brief moment? Okay. The armband and intellect are still missing, but I inspected it closely before the Lord's ball. It was still in there when I moved them to Frega Manor. Someone must have stolen it during the ball. Not one, but two artifacts were stolen during the Lord's ball. I never expected anyone to completely bypass my security like this. Yes, he had no hand in it. God fucking damn. We even saw his thoughts, and his thoughts said, you know, fucking like, this thing, violence should have happened, but it didn't happen. Implying that he didn't kill him. God fucking damn. William, it's a shame that things ended up this way. I truly hope that I could show you the value of Wyvernguard's history. Okay. Young Tyrion's argument makes sense. I couldn't have heard Eugene when the lockdown was active. What is going on here? I can't believe one of my artifacts was used to commit a murder. It's completely disrespectful to the culture and history behind it. No, he got... What? Why am I thinking about this? A man can't be going already, can it? Okay, that was like that. At least the earrings of vitality were left untouched. It's one of the few artifacts left that's imbued with the scale of its power. Interesting! Looks very much like my runestone. It appears the boy thinks I was involved in this. Although, given what he said, I can't blame him for thinking that. I truly wonder about what really happened, though. Tracker. No. I talked about Eugene already. The murder weapon, not the lockdown system. Okay, did that. The manor, method of entry. No, which I heard. No, because we didn't talk about that to him. Rats and vents. Okay, who would know about that? Not the will. Not the engagement. Not the inheritance. Oh, hold on. They're truly ashamed that Beatrice was driven to flee from her own family. Only I introduced myself to her. Perhaps we could have found a solution together. What's going on? Did I not I could have also presented Beatrice as well, I guess. See anything, Cuthbert? You're on it. It's clear that the prosecution has nothing left to argue. There's very little evidence implicating my client, and there's a far more likely suspect in front of us right now. Yes, I must agree, Miss Timor. At the very least, I see no reason to prolong this trial any longer. Wait. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, so I lost that one. Oh, I took of this as well. Hmm. You chose something better with was he acting independently? Nope. No, okay. Oh, wait. Yeah. The armbands. Wore or stole? What? Console looking over his shoulder. No, I mean, yeah. Oh my god. Are we doing the let's put the parrot on the stand? Your Honor, I think there's one more witness that we can clear up this discrepancy once and for all. Oh my god, we're doing this. Okay, all right. Every game has this case nowadays. Let's put the animal on the stand. I believe he can prove the prosecution's case to the court. Really? I frankly find that hard to believe. Please trust me, Your Honor. There's an element to this that we're all not seeing. What do you have planned now? Very well, I'll give you one last chance, Mr. Cuthbert. But know that if your next witness fails to unveil any new information, I won't hesitate to end this trial. I understand, Your Honor. So I'm going to need you to bear with me for a moment. Why? Your Honor, the prosecution calls Eugene Harrison to the stand. Never mind, I retract my earlier statement. I'll be passing my verdict. Wait, just bear with me for a moment. Mr. Cuthbert, I should find you in contempt for even suggesting this. Do you honestly think I'll allow a monkey to give testimony in my courtroom? Yeah, it sounds pretty out there, even for us. I'd like to remind the court of the nature of Harold's bond with Eugene. Eugene is a familiar. That means that Harrison can speak with him telepathically. But this is absolutely... Show me the law that says an animal can't give testimony, Your Honor. It may be unprecedented, but it's not against the law. Very well. Your Honor, you can't be serious right now. Are you actually going to go along with this? Oh, Miss Tamura, I'm looking for any possible reason not to entertain this. But Mr. Cuthbert has a point. There are no laws against this proposal. So I have no choice but to oblige his frankly insane actions for now. But, well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's not as if this will reveal anything. I can't believe I'm saying this, but bailiff, please escort Lord Harrison's monkey to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation to the court. I could do without the sarcasm, Miss Tamura. Eugene is Eugene Monkey. Bailiff, make sure that the stenographer gets Harrison's translations. Eugene, did you steal from the gallery on the night of the murder? Eugene never steal from Harold. Eugene respect Harold. Then you have no problem testifying about where you were during the Lord's ball. I can't believe I let you convince me to permit this. Don't worry, it'll all make sense soon. Okay. Spiders. Apes strong together. Wow, you did it, Cuthbert. You blew this case wide open. Is this really going to help us? Look, you'll just have to trust me on this. I trust you. I trust you? But Harold is the assertion of House Frege. Surely you visited House Frege Manor before that night. Manor constantly changes. William always doing renovations. There's always a new discovery to be made. Anyways, what else did you do that night, Eugene? Do you enjoy eating spiders? Spiders good, rich in nutrients. Wait, really? Some cultures in Eastern Kingdoms eat roasted crickets. I've tried them, they're actually not bad if prepared correctly. I don't think I could ever be that adventurous. Can you please stay on topic? I wasn't accusing you of anything, Eugene. Perhaps you accidentally unlocked the case and took them thinking they were some sort of toy. This could all be an honest mistake. Eugene not dum-dum. Eugene know how important artifacts are to Harold. Eugene never take from him. You might not have knowingly done it, but perhaps you took one of the artifacts by accident. Eugene never did that. Then how do you explain your brief contact with the Sword of Spell Eating? Harold couldn't have telepathically contacted you unless one of you was wielding it. Eugene don't understand question. He mad? Yeah, he monkey mad. Also, welcome in, Jossie. Do you consider yourself close to Harold? I would guess so. They literally have a magical connection with each other. Right, I suppose the bond between mage and his familiar would require a lot of trust. Harold saved Eugene from Badman years ago. Eugene would never betray till your rescue. Badman locked Eugene in cage. He tell people to throw peanuts at Eugene. Harold take Eugene away from that prison. Lock up Badman. Tyrion, I know it looks bad, but I swear, there's more to this than meets the eye. You say so. Eugene, I asked you before if you stole anything from Harold's gallery. Eugene, no, Eugene would never steal from Harold. Cuthbert, don't waste our time by having me repeat that statement. That's the thing, Miss Tamora. That's not the same statement he made in his testimony. I asked the witness if he stole an artifact from the gallery. I never mentioned the armbands of intellect. What are you talking about? The witness lacks the understanding the difference between the artifacts. It was clearly just a simple mistake. It's not just the fact that he named the wrong artifact, Mr. Moore. It's the fact that he named an artifact at all. It's the fact that he used its actual name. I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean, Mr. Cuthbert. Your Honor, animals can't speak the same way that humans do. Even when a telepathic link is established, their vocabulary is extremely limited. Right, Tracker called the sword of spell leading a stick before. It was hard to understand what he really meant. Exactly, so that raises the question, how did Eugene know what they were called the armbands of intellect? He's wearing them right now! They're on Eugene right now. Head. Eugene, do you still remember that you didn't steal the armbands of intellect? Eugene told you already, Eugene never steal from Harold. Then I suppose you wouldn't mind taking off your hat. It's like fucking like Eisen level shit. You've got me into my own game here. If you did. Foolish human. Are you serious right now? You don't think he's wearing them right now, do you? That's the only thing that makes sense. The armbands were taken during the night of the murder, and they are still missing. If Eugene didn't steal the armbands at night, he would never have the opportunity to return them. He had no choice but to continue wearing them until the investigation was over. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're spinning a fairy tale. Do you honestly expect us to believe that a monkey increases intellect beyond human limits? If I'm wrong, the witness can easily refute my theory by removing his hat. Well, what's it going to be, Eugene? Then both start speaking like a thesaurus. Like I dare say there. Oh, he's already smart. He's just pretending to be dumb. No, you can't be serious. He's got a fucking pipe? Bro got his fucking like pipe and smoking jacket. He's ready to fucking rock now. Well done, Mr. Cuthbert. I shouldn't have underestimated you. Are you serious? This is probably a blessing in disguise. I don't think I could bear debasing myself any longer. Whoa, what was that?
Objection!
Objection, Your Honor. On what grounds, Miss Tamora? On what grounds? Everything about the situation is objectionable. It's downright absurd. But, Miss Tamora, we can't deny what's clear in front of us. I was not ready for today. How's he even talking right now? Scholars believe that humans and apes evolved from common ancestor. Perhaps all apes can speak common language under the right circumstances. Bullshit, but okay. Evolved, please. I've observed your society. I think calling humanity evolved is being quite generous. This can't be happening. Well, are you done gawking at me like a bunch of simpletons? Wait a minute. That's the thought that we heard? No fucking way. No fucking way. No fucking way. So the armbands were already stolen then? Oh, how long have they been stolen for? Oh my god. But I still don't understand. Why would you even take the armbands in the first place? I'll admit that the Lord's Ball was one of many occasions. The first time I touched them was due to sheer chance. You put them on by accident? My unawakened self was enamored by its glittering sheen. I merely wanted to touch them, when I first held them in my hands, I experienced a sense of clarity I've never felt before. That's kind of fucked up, honestly. I was afraid of what I experienced, so I left them alone. But as I returned to my primitive lifestyle, I couldn't stop thinking about what I felt that day. You were hooked. He was hooked on the drugs of knowledge. I wouldn't quite phrase it like that, but I suppose you're not wrong. I already knew the password to Harold's vault, so I'd come in from time to time and indulge in the armband's power. But the more time I spent with their awakened intellect, the more I craved its power when I had to put them away. And that's when you made the replica. While no one was watching, I devised a plan to discreetly take their armbands. Harold would have eventually discovered that they were stolen, but he would have concluded a noble from the Lord's Ball took them. Because of the pressure that he was receiving from the crown, I'm not proud of what I've done, but I've never expected things to reach this point. I didn't expect someone to steal the sword of spell eating as well. I certainly didn't expect a murder to happen that night. So you still maintain that you're innocent? Of course I do. I stole the armbands, but I did not murder William Frege, nor did I take the sword of spell eating. Allow me to elaborate. This is the clearest animal that we've ever had on the stand before. I'll admit that I took the armbands and replaced them with a replica, but I was not the crook who stole the sword of spell eating. The thefts were completely different from one another. The display case from the sword was completely shattered. I spotted the sword when I was exploring the manor. It was lying in the middle of a hallway. I wondered why such an important artifact would be lying there, so I took a closer look to inspect it. That's when I heard Harold call out to me telepathically. The sword must have protected me and Harold from the anti-magic field. I wanted to take the sword and return it, but a wild dog chased me away from the scene. He has a point. He didn't need to shatter the display case of the sword. Yeah, he already knew the passwords. Hmm. You stole the armbands by using Harold's spoken password, am I correct? Yes, I sit on his shoulder most of the time. He obviously never suspected what I'd do, so it's a simple matter of listening to him, when he transported the artifacts to Frege Manor. I can assume that you knew the passwords for the other display as well? I do. I can easily demonstrate it. Even so, you already lied about not stealing the armbands. Why would he believe you now? The answer to that lies in the physical evidence. How do you know that you didn't shatter the glass to cover your tracks? Harold's password would have disengaged the locks, but it wouldn't disable the magic that protects the glass. Harold told you himself, didn't he? Only a powerful mage could have shattered the reinforced glass. But as a familiar, magic can cast through you. Only Harold can cast magic through me. I can't cast any spells myself. And even if I could, Harold's spell compendium doesn't have the spell that's powerful enough for that. Anyways. But that location was near Frege's bedrooms. Don't tell me that you... What do you take me for? I know what a bedroom looks like, and I've never entered one uninvited. What a gentleman! Or a gentle monkey. Then why were you there in the first place? I was coming back from the rooftop garden, but then I suddenly felt something interfering with the armband's magic. The anti-magic fields. Yes, I was worried that something had happened, so I made my way back to the gallery to meet up with Harold. I see. Could you add this to your testimony? Very well. Okay. 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 Go back. Wasn't it over here? Eugene, I'm sure you're well aware of this, but the best way to lie is to hide a false detail within many truths. And what are you trying to insinuate, Mr. Cuthbert? You said that you were heading from the terrace to the gallery. Did you take any detours? Of course not. The armbands nullified, my intelligence was slowly fading. I wanted to return to Harold as soon as possible. Witness, I would like you to take a look at this floor map of Fricka Manor. This is the location where that wild dog found the sort of spell eating. So tell me, Eugene, how did you spot the sort of spell eating when it was hidden in the hallway north of Beatrice's room? That's why you're nitpicking such an insignificant statement. You probably just got distracted and went down the wrong hallway. This time more, Eugene came from the rooftop garden, and he was adamant that he went directly to the gallery to return to unite with Harold. Even if his intellect was muddled, he was intent on reuniting with his worried companion. He definitely took the direct route, but if he did, he would never have been able to see into that hallway. I see your point, Mr. Cuthbert, but what does this mean? It means that the witness lied about where he was before he discovered the sort of spell eating. He wasn't coming from the rooftop garden. He came from the air vents in that specific hallway. So why were you in that hallway, Eugene? You lied in your testimony. Was it because you wanted to hide that you were really doing that night? I admit, Eugene, you snuck through the air vents to avoid detection. Then you used the air vent in that hallway to break into William's study. After that, you murdered him using his letter opener, did you? That's not what I went there to do. No, I didn't mean... Order in the court. Witness, is this true? Did you break into William Fager's study during the lockdown? Yes, I did enter his study, but not for the reason you think. William Fager was already dead when I got there. What? What did you just say? It's true. Do you honestly expect us to believe a story like that? How could someone else have killed the victim before you got there? Tracker took the sword of spell eating, and you were the only intelligent creature that could walk through the air vents. I understand how unbelievable and suspicious it sounds. Good point. But it's true, Mr. Cuthbert. You have to believe me. Who really did this? Okay, Eugene, let's assume you're telling the truth. Do you actually believe me? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You're still my only suspect for this, but I know better than anyone about jumping to conclusions. I've done it already 3 times during this case, but it's okay. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now. I see. However, if you want to observe yourself, I need you to tell me about what you really saw that night. There might be something, anything that might point to who really did this. Very well. I'll tell you what I saw. Although, I doubt you believe me. How crazy is this shit gonna be? I discreetly made my way to the hallway through another air vent. I exited the air vent in the hallway and tried to leap to the other side. It was my waning intelligence or my desperation, but collided with something that I didn't see. I fell to the ground and found the sword of spell eating lying next to me. I went to retrieve the sword, but that wild dog forced me to retreat. After that, I continued to make my way to the study. And that's when I found William Frege. He was dead on the floor, lying in a pool of blood. And as if I was blessed by the Scale Lord himself, I found the will that he was drafting, so I destroyed it. Frankly, Mr. Harrison, I find the story very difficult to believe. I assumed as much, but you know what they say. Truth is stranger than fiction. Isn't it more likely that you murdered the victim? You're clearly trying to cover up what you did by saying that he was already dead. Honestly, I really don't know what to think. But why were you there in the first place? It all began when William Frege got into an argument with Harold. That wanted to fund the prestigious Heralds in the Hall of History. I knew a man like William would have Fabi's secrets, so I devised a plan to break into his study and find something that could be of use to blackmail him. As you know, there's a small air vent in that hallway, so it connected to William's study on the ground floor. I wasn't aware William was planning to stay in his study all night, so I thought I could look through his documents without anyone seeing me. What happened when we tried to leap to the other air vent, Eugene? I thought monkeys were extremely dexterous. Are you just clumsy? I have an impeccable dexterity. I must have been muddled by him losing the armband's magic.
Objection!
Nope, not yet. I didn't know it was the sort of spell eating. When I held it in my hands, I felt my intelligence return. But I also heard Harold calling out to me telepathically. He was clearly growing worried, so I knew I needed to move quickly. Did this wild dog have a white coat of fur? He did. Are you acquainted with him? Something like that. Well, next time you meet him, tell him that I don't appreciate being called a rat. I'm a proud orangutan. You can understand him? I've picked up a little of canine language throughout my life. I'm also fluent in squirrel and pigeon. I can also speak owl, but I mean it's barely conversational. Look at this polyglot over here. Polyglot? What happened when you entered the study? It seems awfully convenient that he was murdered before you arrived. I know how it may seem, but I'm telling you the truth. And do you have any explanation for how the assailant broke into the study without the sword? I unfortunately do not. Please, it's obvious that your testimony doesn't match up with the evidence. Whoever did this either entered through the events or they used the sword to nullify the lock. And your own testimony states that the sword was abandoned in the hallway. Anyways, what did you do when you discovered the body? I knew it was only a matter of time before someone discovered the body, so I quickly searched the room for something I could use. So you were the one who took the will? I've been trying to find it. What did it say? I was pressed for time, so I didn't read the entire document, but I found an order to his executor to defund the Harrodson Hall of History. Since he went out of his way to specify that that wasn't the current copy, I concluded that his former will didn't have this addendum. So you could save Harrod's museum by making sure it never got submitted for probate. Anyways, do you have the will with you? My apologies, I crumpled up the will in a ball and ate it. I then left the room before my intelligence was completely gone. Ugh. Have him shit it out. Eugene, when you carrying out your plan, did you turn yourself invisible somehow? No, I could hardly have the means to. And if I had somehow convinced Harold to cast a spell on me, he doesn't know how to cast invisibility. Very few mages do. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I didn't see the whole events one. It's my bad. Invisibility. Yep. There we go. Clouds looking in the sea. Mm-hmm. What did we just use to murder? There we go. Oh, you're just kicking in a little more. How does she know how to react to me putting my hand forward? Yep. How did she know you were holding out your hand? Yep. Well, do you have any other questions for me? Your Honor, the prosecution has no further questions for the current witness. He is dismissed. What? I see. You have something else planned, don't you? Yeah, and I actually need your help. Really? Really? I feel like you're making some big assumptions here. Detect magic. We have already established that detect magic can be used to see if someone is invisible because an illusion would be cast on that thing. We use it and we cast it in this area. Bold move, though. Wouldn't the Inquisition check for something like that? I know, it's the best play we have. Do you remember what Steelwind said yesterday? Yep. Wait a sec. Hold on. If Are you telling me no one casts detect magic on the client? On the defendant? There's no fucking way. Unless, oh my god. If it's an animal familiar, it doesn't have to be on her. She could have just hit her animal familiar anywhere and then they wouldn't be able to see detect magic. If everything goes the way I think it will, you'll be able to confirm its location. Once you did that, you just need to reveal it to everyone. Alright, I'll follow your lead then. So, Mr. Cuthbert, how do we proceed? Your previous witness brought about more revelations than I could ever have guessed. However, you still haven't given a substantial explanation for how the murder occurred or who actually did it. I understand that, Your Honor, but it will make sense after I call my next witness. Another witness? I understand your hesitance, Your Honor, but everything that we've learned throughout these trials is finally coming together, and this final witness will tie it all together in a perfect knot. Your Honor, the prosecution calls Beatrice Frege to the stand. Seriously, Cuthbert? You went through all that trouble just to end up calling my client to the stand? You and your client have the right to refuse, Miss Tamora, but I wonder how that will reflect on your client's character. The client says he's willing to testify. However, we would like to propose a short recess. With these new developments, I'm sure you can understand that we have much to discuss. I see no reason not to grant the defense's request. Isn't this really okay? If we give them time to prep, they might realize what we're doing. I know, but I don't think we have anything to worry about. interest of giving the defense time to deliberate, we'll be taking an extended recess. Quarters adjourned. Tyrion, Celeste, be able to see it? Yeah, it's definitely there, and it sits on her shoulder most of the time. But she keeps it close to her, that's good to know. It looks kind of weird though, but I've never used a deck of magic like this before. Cuthbert, Miss Tamora, there's something I need to show you. Preferably alone. Okay, lead the way. Alright, we're here. Is she gonna knock me out and keep me here? Okay. Miss Timora, where are we going? I'm sorry about this. I'm sure you're confused, but please trust me, I'll explain everything. Hmm. Ah, Tamora. And you must be Tyrion. Tamora has told me a lot about you. See, but who are you? I've been called many names over the years, but my favorite has always been the Eye Taker. The criminal boss in the background of the case before this. Boss. The Eye Taker. From the sounds of it, you've already heard of me. Miss Tamora, what is this? My daughter Eris has told me all about your work prosecuting this case. But I have to say, I'm quite impressed. Getting a monkey to testify? I don't think even I could pull off a grift like that. I think he's being controlled by Eris to make him look like she is his daughter, but she's not actually his daughter. You've pretty much blown past my expectations. Why I get to the point. Relax, everyone. Kids will be kids. I'm a father myself, you know. Bullshit. That's a fake relationship. She is controlling you, man. Anyways, I'll get straight to the point. I have a certain interest in the outcome of this trial. What are you talking about? Little Lady Frigga has been a client of ours for a long time. I've done quite a lot of favors for her, and the time has finally come for me to collect. Those depths that Steelwind mentioned, they all belong to me. But there's no need to worry, I know she's good for it. That is, if she can inherit House Frigga. What? Takuma is a good attorney, even without my help. If she's convicted, we could easily reduce her sentence by rubbing the right hands. But you see, there's that pesky Slayer rule. The thing is, Cuthbert, I need Beatrice Frigga to be acquitted in the current trial. So that's what this is about? House Frigga's gold? That's why you helped her murder William Frigga? Please, my goals aren't nearly as so short-sighted. I have big plans, not just for Beatrice, but for this entire kingdom. I need House Frigga for that. Just like you needed Justin Way. Tyrion. Ah, Justin. It's really a shame what happened to him. Don't act so innocent. He would have never tried to rob Dracogen if you didn't threaten him. Is that so? Do you think I just randomly showed up on his doorstep one day demanding gold? He was the one who came to me for help. I just told him to pay back what he owed. If he hadn't come to me, it would have been some other criminal. But that's besides the point. Enough about what I wanted from Justin. Let's talk about what I want from you. Absolutely fucking not. What are you gonna do? Threaten me? You want me to throw the case? I love this kid. I don't have to beat around the bush with this one. No one will doubt you, especially considering the amount of work you put into this already. You don't need to do anything. Just take a dive. And let someone else take the fall. No matter what happens, the court will blame someone for this. If it makes you feel better, I can assign Tamor to defend the old man and his monkey. That way, everyone can come out of this unharmed. Everyone wins. Except for the fact that a murderer will be put in charge of House Frega. Please, as if that's any worse than the people in charge of the other noble houses. True! If you recall, there's already a murderer in the charge of House Von Sanctus. They're all dirty. You've seen it, haven't you? They rig the system. They pay, threaten, or even kill people to get their way. All we're doing is leveling the playing field. Tyrion, please, just listen to him. I couldn't just go along with this. I told you a long time ago that there are certain parts of my job that I couldn't tell you about. Well, this is it. This is what we need to do to beat them. Those rumors about you, they're all true, aren't they? Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you're guilty of each and every one of them. And you use him to do it, also you can keep winning. You blackmailed Miriam, Mr. Tamora. Or as if we should show any pity for that spoiled princess. Steelwind, she was attacked the day Beatrice was arrested. Was that? I didn't know that's what they were planning. Despite my confidence in Admiral Squirrels, I'm afraid that was too much riding on this to leave to chance. You've got to make your own luck if you want to beat the system. How could you? She almost died. We never expected her to strain her injuries like that, and we definitely didn't expect you to take her place. So believe me when I say that I'm being uncharacteristically reasonable right now. How could you even consider working with someone like him? Don't you think it's a little arrogant to judge her, Cuthbert? What? You talk about defending people as if you two are even close to being equals. But she doesn't have the luxury of looking into people's minds, now does she? You told him about that? Yeah, you told him? What the fuck? The future of magic is changing, kid. Like I said before, I have big plans for this kingdom, and I also have big plans for you. Do you think I would ever... Tyrion, stop. To be honest, I hate it as much as you do. But whether you like it or not, we need their help. But this is... Think about every client you defended. Think of Celeste. If you didn't have the Eye of Horus, what would you have happened to them? Even if one thing went differently, Pierce would have gotten away and Celeste would have been executed. You've taken chances and followed your instincts, and that's worked for you so far. But what if it's not enough? What if the system is too corrupt for you to fight against next time? With the Eye Taker's help, you'll never have to worry about that again. If I had accepted this help sooner, I could have saved your mother. So what's it gonna be, kid? You already know about what happened to the Steelwind brand. So I don't need to tell you what'll happen if you don't play Paul. Wait. No. What? Maybe you're right. Maybe I can't always win against the ability unless I play dirty like they do. But this is wrong. Tyrion, I'm not going to compromise my principles, not even for you, Miss Tamora. I'm sorry to hear you say that, kid. I really am. Please, you don't have to do this. No. Fuck yeah, Celeste? I knew she fucking tailed my ass. What the? How did you get in here? My whole job is keeping this guy safe. Do you honestly think I just let you take him to an undisclosed location? It doesn't matter, as if one girl could make a difference. About that. Well, what are you all waiting for? Is that really her? This monstrous aura, it has to be her. What the hell are you doing? You have her surrounded. Look, let's all just sit down and talk about this rationally. Perhaps a different approach is warranted here, Father. What? Could I have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Cuthbert? I believe I can make him see things our way. I'm sorry, sweetie, but I can't just... Well, if you've never been wrong before, I'll leave them to you, love. Shall we go, you two? That was close. I don't think I could ever fought. Oh yeah, Jazzy, this is the first time seeing it. Eris can legit glitch the system. And she's done so, and every single time she's done so. She straight up can glitch the system. And the going theory so far is that she's fucking with people's memories and their emotions. And there's already been a case so far, the second case, upon which it's been revealed that she's been going around basically causing people to act on their latent desires and shit like that, and causing them to go mad and go crazy. My theory is that either she's the demon or the dragon Rothian. Either a demon or a certain dragon by the name of Rathalion. I don't think I could have fought that whole room while protecting you. You two are really courageous to have fought, aren't you? Yes, I appreciate you vouching for us, but I'm not changing my mind about this. She's 100% the final boss. Oh, I'm well aware of that. Why do you think I intervened? Oh, well, thank you. Is this really okay? Won't your dad be mad? I should be asking Tyrion that same question. You've seen your adoptive mother's true colors and rejected them. How are the two of you going to move forward? She's not my... Didn't she, though? She lost any right to deny it the moment she took it upon herself to raise you. She only did that because I asked her to. It wasn't her choice. Oh, but it was. How old were you when your real mother was executed? 10 years old? Eris. Back then you barely knew Timora. It would have been a stretch to even call her family friend. She was an adult in that situation, and what did she do? She fed your anger and hatred for the nobility instead of allowing you to process your grief healthily. Timora took you away from your only friends and isolated you from society. She even homeschooled you, didn't she? As a result, you never formed any other relationships. You made your first close friend at the age of 20, and she was your client. Don't you think that's a bit sad? Jesus fucking Christ! She isolated you because she wanted to use you. That's not true. That's not why she... What I've seen today, you clearly have no idea who Timora is. Even with the Eye of Horus, you're clearly a terrible judge of character. Yes, you're going way too far. To save you from what heartache, let me give you one last piece of advice. Do you honestly think Celeste will ever love you? What? What the fuck? Hope you understand now. Timora can only afford to pay her exorbitant salary because of my father. You've already burned that bridge, so where do you think Crimson Demon would go when you can't afford her services anymore? No, she's not. With Flintheart dead, she has to worry about her mother. Do you think she has the luxury of playing around with you for free? Good point. Do you actually think she enjoys spending time with you? Oh, there's her true, a little semi-true form. Hey, Tyrion, you have to look at this rationally. And your support, her affection she's given you has only been to keeping you as your employer. You should know. Aww. Oh, she did say that. Oh, she did say that. Oh, why are you doing this? Because I want to finally... Oh, I'm just trying to keep you from getting hurt. It may seem cruel, but you have to be realistic about these things. You trusted Timora and she betrayed you. Try not to make the same mistake twice. Eris, that's enough. My apologies. I've been told that I've been too blunt sometimes. But I do hope you'll think about what I said. Anyways, the trial should be starting soon. We should make our way back to the courthouse. I'm genuinely curious to see how this trial ends. Hey, Tyrion, are you okay? What did she say to you? Tyrion? Sorry, I didn't mean to... I'm okay, really. Oh, okay. Okay, so this case must go harder now because, I mean, this seems way too easy. Court is now resumed for the trial of Beatrice Frege. Is the defendant prepared to take the stand? Timora, I asked you a question. Is the defendant prepped or not? She is. If the prosecution still want to move forward with, the prosecution will be moving forward with this. Please bring in the witness. You still see it, Celeste? Yeah, it's still there. Should I reveal it now? No, let's really make a point of it. Wait for my signal. Thank you for agreeing to take the stand, Miss Frege. Mr. Cuthbert, it's my understanding that you were with the two princesses for most of the night. Yes, I was. Which is why I'm still quite confused as to why I'm being charged for this crime. Out of everyone there that night, I thought I'd have my alibi as the most solid. That remains to be seen. Clearly. Anyways, since you still maintain your innocence, you have no problem going into detail about your supposed alibi. Oh, shit, I just realized something. Isn't the king also kind of like semi-smitten with her or something? Because if... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The king asked her, or Prince, Prince, Prince Astrid's pretty smitten with her, and he's been our friend, and he's the one who asked us to look into this case to find out what's going on. Are we gonna lose Prince Astrid as a friend? Because he seemed like a chill guy before. Okay, let's go. As you know, I was with the Crown Prince Astrid and Prince Alaric for most of the ball. I went there after my meeting with my father, and I remained with them until I was arrested for this murder. Lord Steelwind and the King's Guard kept watch over me for the entire night as well. I neither had the means nor the opportunity to steal the Sword of Spell Reading and break into my father's study to murder him.
Objection!
We're going straight into this? And that, Miss Frigate, is where you're mistaken. Not even like giving me a, okay, I'm okay with this. You definitely had the means to commit both crimes while under the eye of everyone there that night. Now, Celeste. Aburio. Wait, what are you doing? Your Honor, the witness's testimony is clearly... Oh my god, what the hell is that thing? Tyrion, get behind me. A monster, it's a monster. Someone call the Inquisition, the King's Guard, anyone. Your Honor, can you please restore order? Your Honor? The old man flew out the back door the moment he saw me. He can't talk? It's a demon, it must be. It's just like the legends say. Can we all just calm down? Mr. Cuthbert, what is the meaning of this? Sorry, I didn't know it was a... Actually, what are you? Are you a demon? Why, yes. I am a demon. Demons actually exist? I thought they were only a legend. Your Honor, not only do demons exist, the defendant made one into her familiar. She's only blind in the literal sense. She's constantly looking through the eyes of her familiar to see. And? What do you mean, and? It's pretty obvious that making a pact with a demon is incriminating by itself. Tell me, Your Honor, do the laws of Wife and God prohibit entering an accord with a demon? They don't, but then my clan has committed no crime. Even so, I really would have preferred not revealing Marunath like that. Marunath, is that your name? Is what most people call me. Occupation, demonic familiar. I suppose you have a point, Timor. Having a demon as your familiar isn't technically illegal. However, this does prove the defendant had a way to commit the murder, all while under the eye of everyone in the ballroom. She could have sent Marunath upstairs to the gallery and had them steal the Sword of Spell Eating. After that, they would just need to traverse the vents into William's study, just like Eugene did that night. The fact that her familiar is a demon proves that she couldn't have done that. What do you mean? You saw how everyone reacted when they saw Marunath's form. A monkey may have raised some eyebrows, but someone surely would have reported Marunath if they saw him. Timora, your client is a master of illusion magic. Can I assume that we'll find invisibilities in her spell compendium? You might. And with that connection granted by familiar bond, she could have casted the spell on him regardless of where each of them was. I'll admit my client does know how to cast invisibility. Your theory raises another question. Can my client continue casting it unnoticed? Continue casting it? You'll understand once I go over the order of events that night. At an unknown time, someone stole the Sword of Spell Eating from the Harrodson Gallery. Due to the timing of this, I admit it would be logically consistent if my client was the thief. However, some time later, my client, the Crown Prince, was watched closely by the King's Guard. From witness accounts, including yours, we know that this happened at 12:45 a.m. And since this time, my client didn't leave the King's Guard's sight. It was around this time that William Frege retreated to his study and locked the door. He made a point of telling everyone that he didn't want to be disturbed. Then at 3 a.m., Lord Harrodson finally discovered the sword was stolen. He reported the theft to the Inquisition and they activated the lockdown system. Shortly after the report, the F.A. Frege tried to speak with her father about the theft. William Frege reiterated he didn't want to be disturbed. F.A. saw his face and there wasn't any traces of illusion directly on his body. Which means that William Frege was still alive at this time. So there goes my theory of someone pretending to be him. Unbeknownst to everyone at this time, William Frege was attacked by the murderer at 3:12 a.m. It's confirmed not only by Jan Hughes' testimony, but also by the autopsy report. At 3:26 a.m., the King's Guard found the sword of spilling in my client's old room. The King's Guard tried to arrest my client for this, but the Crown Prince told them to stand down. Finally, at 3:36 a.m., the lockdown was lifted. Then Hughes reported that we saw, and that's when the Inquisition and the King's Guard discovered the body. I see what you're saying. That's almost 4 hours that guy would have to be invisible. It must have happened before 123 when it was actually reported. Wait, but hold on though. He saw a flying light come out of the northern air vent. Okay, brought to this rat and scared it away. And then what's his name bumped into something that he thought was invisible. And it dropped the sword. If it drops the sword and the magic, anti-magic, and the lockdown was still going on, it would become visible. So she wouldn't be able to cast invisibility, but all she would need to do is get it into the fucking... Oh, but then... No. All she would need to do is get it into the air vents. Because once she gets into the air vents, then it can just chill there in the air vents, because they're not going to find it in the air vents, right? They're not going to check the air vents to see what happens. And then once the lockdown is lifted, she can immediately contact him, see if he's okay, cast invisibility again, and then everything's good, right? In order to keep my concealed at every step, the client would have needed to keep invisible from 1:03 a.m. to 3:12 a.m. Not only that, she needed Marinette to wield this sort of spelling and to ignore the events of the anti-magic fields. This means he would need to be invisible for more than an hour. What's your point? My point is that invisibility has a duration of 1 hour. I admit that my client could have cast invisibility before she met with the Crown Prince, but if she wanted to keep Marinette invisible, she would have needed to recast the spell at some point that night. As you know, my client couldn't have done so during that night without the King's Guard noticing it. Your logic makes sense, but that could only mean the defendant refreshed the invisibility right in front of everyone watching. In front of the entire King's Guard, the two princes, and Lucille Steelwind? As unlikely it is, it's the only conclusion that I can come to. I had a feeling you'd say that, which is why we have a witness who can confirm that Beatrice didn't perform any magic that night. Is it the Crown Prince? A witness? Your Honor, the defense would like to call Prince Alaric to the stand. I see. You would have certainly been close enough to notice the defendant casting magic. But wouldn't the Crown Prince's testimony be more suitable? Are you trying to say that Prince Alaric is unqualified to give proper testimony, Your Honor? Yeah. No, of course not. Is the Prince ready to testify? Thank you for coming in, Prince Alaric. Could you please hold your tongue, knave? You will speak when you are spoken to. Oh God, he sounds exactly like Mary when we first met her. Your Highness? Mr. Cuthbert believes the defendant used her magic while she was with you with the Crown Prince. I already gave my statement to the instigators. That man dares to question my testimony? Yes, he said it, not me. Wow, you threw me under the bus real quick. You threw me under the horse-drawn carriage, I guess. But very well, if my testimony is required to strike down these redundant accusations I bestow it upon you. Redundant? Don't you mean ridiculous? Mr. Cuthbert, do not dare to suppose what His Highness really means. His boots must be shining from all the licking you're doing. What was that? Nothing. Boot liquor. You think if I could cast magic right in front of me? Don't be a serf. What? She was under the careful watch of the King's Guard, my brother, and Lord Steelwind. We conversed for the whole night. I didn't see her cast any magic. She's been through so much over the last few years, all because of her horrid father. She'd never do something like this. You and Lady Steelwind are just jealous. Celeste, usually when you cast detect magic, I can see magical energies overlaying your eyes. Yeah, there's always a visible magic effect on the target when I cast a spell. But Marinette was completely in another room. The King's Guard wouldn't see the initial magic effect of invisibility. Even if there wasn't a visible effect in the room, she would have still needed to say the incantation and perform the gesture with her hands. Right, like how you shout Repair Arcanum every time you scan the screen, a crime scene. I don't shout it. It's a gesture her doing the ow, that hurt. When she smacks her hands against her cheek. Because they've already established she's done that twice in this case. What the fuck, Sus? What do you usually need to do to cast a spell? Honestly, there are a lot of things that need to account for it. Stamina and focus are a big part of it. Assuming that she's in perfect condition, what's the bare minimum that she would need to do? Well, she would have to focus her magic, say the incantation, and perform the gesture with her hands, all at the same time. It wouldn't be absurd. You may think the idea absurd, Your Highness, but the defendant was clearly good at keeping secrets. She could have easily concealed her actions at some point during the night. A brief moment to say the incantation and perform the gesture would have been all she needed. But I wasn't the only one watching her. But would they have really noticed her casting one spell? The Kingsguard are the most vigilant knights in the kingdom. About that, they are trained to watch and counter a major spell. The defendant needed to target someone who was in another area. There would have been no visual indication that she was using magic, but she would still need to perform the incantation and complete the gesture with her hands. Oh, clap both hands together. Wow. Oh, she wasn't clapping her hands on her cheeks, she was clapping her hands together like, oh. A coterie. If I recall correctly, you and your brother were with her until she was arrested for the murder. What did you speak about? She told stories about what she did while she was away. Away where? She was researching something. I forgot what she said. Something about the old cult. Got him! Got her! Got her! Do you mean the occult? Yes, that's it. She was researching ghosts and demons. Anyways, Your Highness, will you please add this to your testimony? If I must. The occult RA. The occult RA.
Objection!
Got it. Your Highness, according to your testimony, the defendant told me their occult RA a fascinating phenomena. Is that exactly what she said, word for word? Yes, the stories she told us were quite interesting. They really struck a chord with me. Struck a chord? Even if they were interesting, your testimony proves that she did cast a visibility spell that night. Are you deaf? I told you. No one heard her say any incantations, nor did they hear her perform any gestures. Unfortunately, your testimony proves the contrary. You just figured that the incantation and performed the gesture right in front of you, all without anyone even noticing it. Or knowing it. What? Your Highness, there are two components required to cast invisibility. First, the caster must speak the incantation occultary and clap both of their hands together. As I'm sure you've noticed, the defendant has a habit of clapping both of her hands to calm herself. Now, when I think about it, her habit must have come from constantly casting the spell. The defendant requires Mount at the sea, so she must constantly cast invisibility to keep him invisible. Oh, that's right! I was wondering, why would you keep on casting the spell on familiar? And I was like, that's right, she needs him to see. Cuthbert, you may have an explanation for how she hid the gesture. How is she was still needed to speak the incantation. However, she did speak the incantation. The witness's testimony proves it. What are you talking about? I never said she spoke any incantation. Your Highness, the incantation for invisibility is occultary. Now recall what you said at your RA. Now recall what you said in your testimony. You got it. She said the occult RA. Fascinating phenomena. The pronunciation of that one phrase is identical to the incantation. As C, she hid the incantation in her conversation, and because her target was a creature that was outside of the ballroom, no one saw the magical effects. That means that Martha had the means to murder William Frege just as Eugene did. Having the means is completely different from actually having done it, Cuthbert. Very few people had the ability to shatter the display case to steal the Sword of Spell Eating, and even few people had a familiar small enough to traverse events, which also makes Harrison's familiar an equally likely suspect. Unlike my client's familiar, he admitted to breaking the Williams study that night. If your client's familiar is truly innocent, then why not have him testify before the court? I see, but it's not as if he is the first unprecedented witness we've had today. Is Marionath willing to testify, Miss Tamora? Your Honor, unfortunately, Marionath is unwilling to testify. Why the change of heart? My client's familiar may be a demon, but he's afforded the same rights as any other person. He is not obligated to testify. Oh. 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 Demons like to deceive and correct people. Ho ho ho. First off, I mean, it makes it even more likely that Eris is a demon. Although the dragon thing also seems like it's got some good foundation to it, that theory. But the more important thing is that Maranath is a demon, and we know that for a fact. And if he's like, I want to deceive you, but he can't deceive me if I have the Eye of Horus. Which, if he's a demon, he most likely can tell that I have the Eye of Horus. I see. Maranath is well within his right to refuse, if that's what he truly wants. It is. Well, I suppose it's for the best. I doubt he'd be able to corroborate your story at all. Considering his diminutive figure, I don't blame him for being a coward. Mr. Cuthbert, could you please refrain from provoking the little demon? Oh, it's fine, Your Honor. He can't do anything without his master's word. And between him and the defendant, it's clear that Beatrice is the brains of the operation. You shut your filthy celestial mouth. Celestial? Oh, we do have wings in the cover art of the game. Maranath, what are you doing? I would not stand here and be insulted by a bloody heavensborn. I'm still within my contract and will not flee from the likes of him. You want my testimony? I'll give you my goddamn testimony.
Objection.
Your Honor, my client does not consent to having her familiar testify. Tamora, didn't you say earlier that Maranath is afforded the same rights as any other person? He has the right to refuse to testify, but only he can decide if he wants to exercise it. And he's clearly intent on giving it. Gotcha. So, Maranath, why don't you testify about what you again. So, Maranath, why don't you testify what you were doing on the night of the murder? Gladly. Okay. The final testimony? Bullshit. Goddamn testimony. I get it because he's a devil. Demon thing. I provided sight to my keeper while she spoke to the princess. I'll admit that she did cast invisibility on me during the conversation. She needed to keep me hidden after all. But I never left the room my master was. Nor did I steal the Sword of Spell Eating. You have nothing on me, Heavensborn. You don't even have proof that I entered William Frege's study. Do you honestly expect us to take your word for it? Or do you have any evidence to support your alibi? Only speak with the truth, Heavensborn. There were mages other than my keeper that could have stolen the sword. And by your own admission, none of your witnesses saw me on the night of the murder. That one lacking evidence is you. I can interpret? Oh, like I did with the other familiar.
Objection!
Your Honor. Interesting. Okay. So that's how that works. Is this something that you frequently do? Yes, my keeper's accident left her completely blind. She looks through my eyes to see her surroundings. Did she look through your eyes while she was with the princess? Yes, she did.
Objection!
Wait, what? Wait, you said... Okay, whatever. Let's keep on going. We'll press everything. Wait, does that mean she normally casts invisibility every hour? My keeper is a powerful mage, and my pact with her only has made her stronger. Wow, that's actually really impressive. Really? Casting spells may look effortless, but continuously casting spells takes a lot of stamina out of the caster. She must have had a lot of stamina if she can cast high-level illusion every hour. Did your master leave the room while she was with the princess? No. I'm sure you remember, my keeper was under the careful watch of the Kingsguard and Lucio Steelwind. And you're maintaining that you never left the ballroom. As I said, I never left the room where my master was. Beatrice was one of the few mages present that could shatter the glass. Yes, but being able to do something and actually doing it are two different things. Why do you keep calling me that? Oh, does the Heavensborn not know the nature of his blood? Wait, do you know where my abilities come from? Uh-oh! Oh, how marvelous. You don't know, do you? If you make a pact with me, child, I can tell you the nature of your blood, and much, much more. Mr. Cuthbert, please don't make deals with the devil in my courtroom. I wasn't planning to, Your Honor. He's definitely more direct than most witnesses. Yeah, but he's still clearly lying. And there's something off about the way he's speaking.
Objection!
Okay, so it's not that one, it's the one they're leaving. It's the one about leaving. What the? That's weird. Okay, this one.
Objection!
Maronath, it seems like you misspoke and used the wrong word. Hmm. What? Through most of your testimony, you referred to Beatrice Frege as your keeper. Interesting. But you referred to her as your master during one statement. Why is that? So I'll ask you again, did you leave the ballroom that night? I didn't leave the room where my master was. No. Was she there that night? No, I can't do that. Okay. Okay. So you serve someone, but it's not Beatrice. No way. No, they would not. No. Demons apparently pride themselves on tricking and corrupting humans. But you can't lie? What? Witness, can you repeat the following statement for me? Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green. What kind of ridiculous request is that? I'm afraid I must agree, Mr. Cuthbert. Please don't waste our time. I'm just conducting a little experiment, Your Honor. So I ask you again, Maronath. Say the following phrase. Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green. Your Honor, Cuthbert is clearly making trivial requests to stall for time. His request is not worthy of a response from the witness. That's not what I'm doing, Tamora, and I think you know that. Maronath, we truly don't know much about demons aside from their stories told in myths, so it's impossible that demons are physically unable to lie. Damn it. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but that seems quite ridiculous. Why wouldn't the witness be capable of lying? I generally don't know, Your Honor, but his testimony speaks for itself. He can easily refute it by granting my request. Say Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green, witness. You said it yourself, Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is green. That's not what I asked for, witness. Repeat the statement I told you word for word, nothing after or before it.
Objection.
Your Honor, the prosecution's argument is absurd. The witness is not obligated to fulfill such an outrageous request. I might be compelled to agree with you, Ms. Tamora, if the witness wasn't clearly avoiding fulfilling that request. Well, we're all waiting, Maronath. You can easily prove me wrong by repeating my statement plainly. You filthy heavens-born. Say it, Maronath. Tyrion Cuthbert's hair is blonde. Technically, it's a dirty blonde. Oh, shut up! That's funny. Is Mr. Cuthbert correct, Maronath? Are you actually unable to lie? I think his silence speaks for itself, Your Honor. Remarkable. I would have never imagined. And with that, proving my case becomes a much simpler matter. Maronath, did you murder William Frege? I'm sure you understand, witness, under these circumstances, staying silent is basically an admission of guilt. You have no reason to stay quiet, Maronath. Tell them the truth. Lady Beatrice, what are you? I believe it's time to come clean, don't you, Maronath? I see, so that's your play. Don't think you can just stall for time, Miss Frege. Maronath has no choice but to answer the question. Do it, Maronath. Tell the court the truth. To answer your question, yes, I did murder William Frege. What are you doing? He did it by himself, independently, without her knowing it. Miss Frege, does this mean you're confessing to murder? Oh, Your Honor, I am not admitting to anything. This confession comes from Maronath himself. But your own familiar just... Let me ask you a question, Maronath. Did I order you to murder my father? No, I didn't. You did not, Lady Beatrice. What are you talking about? You're lying, aren't you? Demons are physically unable to lie, Mr. Cuthbert. Yep. If the eye taker just asked the demon to do so, then this whole entire case falls apart. Still, this isn't over. Oh, is that so? Let me tell you, this trial was over the moment Arya turned her blade against me. I don't care who you are, man, king, or demon, you're not going to get away with this. Oh, I do love the gravitas behind that, but I wonder how long it will last. Hit me with your best shot, Heavensborn. Beatrice Frege, you may not have technically ordered your father's murder, but you were clearly acting with malice. You brought something dangerous into that matter, something that you knew would harm your father. Oh, really? And what would that be? What was so dangerous that implies the lethal intent? You brought Marunath into Frigga Manor that night. You were clearly planning to murder your father from the start. Ha, I require Marunath to see. That does not imply lethal intent. But you brought a demon into that house. As a result, your father was killed. That's hardly an innocent mistake. My client specifically asked her father if familiars were allowed. We even received a written legal confirmation beforehand. But he couldn't have possibly expected her to bring in a demon. He didn't specify not to do this. The President of Marunath does not break any of his rules, nor any laws made by the kingdom. Right you are, Timora. I can hardly be blamed if our familiar acts without my knowledge. How can you be blameless of Marunath's actions? He's your familiar. By that logic, shouldn't we also blame Lord Harrison for the actions of his pet monkey? If I recall, he broke into the study, tampered with the crime scene, and then left my father's body without reporting it. That's... Marunath and Eugene are intelligent and sentient creatures. They have their own autonomy. Their keepers aren't legally responsible for their actions. But you still cast invisibility to keep Marunath hidden at night. Mr. Cuthbert, I always cast invisibility on Marunath. I can't very well let people see him. Face it, Mr. Cuthbert, you have nothing on me. Every crime related to the murder was committed by Marunath. No, it wasn't. Where's the thing about... What? So they also part of magic? Yeah. Breaking into the fucking... Breaking into... Are you kidding me? No, it would have to... Yeah. It's the same shit! Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. So I presented the security that she broke through, but I had to present the artifact that the security was presenting to prove that she used the magic. Okay, I guess so. Fuck you. That was... I got the right train of thought. You just took a different fucking track. Beatrice, Marunath required your magic to break the wards regarding the sort of spell eating. You may be able to explain why you cast invisibility that night, but you can't explain why you cast an evocation spell power enough to shatter that display case. Oh, that? I'd almost forgotten. I plead guilty. What? To the charge of grand theft, I mean. I ordered Marunath to help me steal that artifact so I can sell it on the black market. I would never have imagined that he'd use it to murder my father. Okay. Marunath, the sentence for first-degree murder is death. Are you really willing to die for your keeper's crimes? Oh, you stupid Heavensborn. Demons never truly die. When our bodies are destroyed, we return to the abyssal hells. Hell? If we were to die in accordance with your laws, I would only return to my plane unharmed. What? Even if I could die, a fate much worse than death awaits me if I fail. So, do you have anything else, Mr. Cuthbert? I didn't think so. Your Honor, it appears we found the true culprit. I can't believe you killed my father, Marunath. I'm so cross with you. Ah, I should give my apologies. I wouldn't do it again. Don't worry, I forgive you. Now then, is there any reason why this trial hasn't ended already, Your Honor? Come on, don't you have anything else? Damn it, not again. Oh, is that all you can do now? Glare at me? Marunath, what did you just do? I've been watching him. He's been using an old celestial trick. But it's weak. Your divine gaze won't work here, Heavensborn. You. Looks like that was your last piece, Cuthbert. What is that you like to say in these situations? Checkmate, Cuthbert. Well, I have to say this was one of the more eventful trials we've overseen. It was many things, if not enlightening, but I suppose it all ended the same. While I find the defendant's actions quite suspect, I must agree with their argument. Aside from the theft of Lord Harrison's exhibit, none of the figure's actions that night are illegal under Guard law, and there's no proof the defendant is responsible for a familiar's actions. With these revelations, I see no room for debate. We will be taking a brief recess. I will announce my verdict once we resume. Who's going to interrupt? This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light of you within you is. Use my eyes, peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Celeste, but you saved Celeste and Wallace and Dracogen, all when no one else would stand up for them. Was helping them a mistake? You fought for a dream that doesn't exist, but that doesn't mean you can't make it real. It's true that you followed Chimera's lead, but you've always done what you thought was right above everything else. You wouldn't have stood up to that criminal if you truly didn't know right from wrong, and you wouldn't be standing here if you had just done as you were told. What do I do? I'm not gonna tell you that, you already know the answer. You've always known the answer. How do you prove that Beatrice ordered Maranath? In order to convict Beatrice, I need to prove that she was responsible for Maranath's actions. People leave trails, even when they think they've committed the perfect crime. Something that always gets left behind. There has to be something that proves Beatrice gave Maranath the order. Beatrice's relationship with Maranath is clearly different than a relationship between two humans. There's a specific way the relationship works. Yeah, the connection is facilitated to a spell. This is a pact? There's a specific way the relationship works, or their pact, as Maranath calls it. Wasn't Harrison told us about pacts? So it's supposed to be... Okay. Blood contracts. That's right, Beatrice must have made a blood contract with him, a legally binding document that must describe how the relationship works. Life did tell you that Beatrice would never trust someone that she couldn't control. She would only put herself in a situation where she had a full control over Marinette's actions, but it's not as if they'd ever show it to me. It would be a tall order to even prove that blood contracts even exist. I guess you have a point, but if you ask me, I think you've done a wonderful job so far. This once let me guide you the rest of the way. What? Tyrion, your eyes don't actually read minds. They give you the means to reveal truths that are being concealed. You can pull the truth out of anyone and anything. The truth? So, say it together with me. Marinette, dweller of Avernus. Wait, what are you doing? By the Eye of Horus, I issue upon you a divine edict. Release thy guards and manifest your blood contract with Beatrice Frigga. That's right. It's divine intervention time. It's a legal document in blood, it's basically 50 pages long. Luckily you somehow know the excerpt of the exact section you need. Marinette is forbidden from killing or injuring any and all humans. Beatrice can designate individuals that are exempt from this war, and exempted individuals will only remain so for 24 hours. After that, Marinette cannot harm them unless told otherwise. Done. Thanks, Mom. What in the nine hells was that? You. When did you learn to... Mr. Cuthbert? What just happened? Your Honor, I just made the witness manifest their blood contract. You did what? Blood contract. You can think of it as a legally binding document. It lays out the terms of pact between Beatrice Frigga and her familiar. Incredible. Where did you learn how to do such a thing? The library? The internet? Wow, to think that our old kingdom had access to such knowledge. Yeah, I'm not buying it. How did you really find out how to do that? It's a long story. Anyways, the defense's argument is such. Marinette was acting alone and the defendant is not to blame for his actions that night. However, take a look at page 7 of this blood contract. It specifies that Marinette is prevented from killing any and all humans. There's only one scenario where he can do so, and that's when Beatrice Frigga designates someone to be exempt from this war. You. Beatrice Frigga, you didn't directly order Marinette to kill your father, but you implied it by telling Marinette that he could kill him. Not only that, you did so within the 24 hours of the Lord's Ball. Your intent was clear. You brought Marinette into Frigga Manor with full knowledge that he could and would kill William Frigga. And that is checkmate. We kind of pulled that out of our ass, but it's fine. Just when I thought the surprises were over. But in the end, we arrived at the truth. I suppose I can't disagree with that. What do you have to say for yourself, Lady Frigga? Do not call me that. It's almost funny that you hate your name that much. Your entire plan depended on your claim to the Frigga estate. Do you have any idea what you've just cost me? Everything has been ruined because of you. Why should I care? You're just another noble, trying to steal power for yourself. Don't you dare lump me together with those tyrants. We wouldn't have just liberated House Frigga, we would have liberated everyone. Miriam, Lafayette, Arya, even Aster. Our system is broken, and the only way we can fix it is by burning it down from the inside. Not... Okay. As long as King Oliver sits on the throne, his suffering will only continue. Okay, yeah. She's probably not wrong. Lady Frigga, as a prosecutor, I should warn you, you don't want to add treason to your list of crimes. It doesn't matter, I'm done either way. Heavensborn, look at page 46 of the blood contract. By accepting this pact, Beatrice Frigga forever binds her soul to the abyssal hells. If Beatrice Frigga fails to pay her debt by claiming House Frigga and all of its assets, her soul, her mind, and her life will be claimed by the Empress of Discord. Motherfucking... I wonder who the Empress of Discord is. I wonder who it is. Arya was almost right. She just jumped to the wrong conclusion. My debts were never to the Eye Taker. They were to the Abyssal Hells. Why would you agree to something like this? Because I miscalculated. In this photo are records of your many plots against House Steelwind and the Crown. It would be a shame if this information fell into their hands. I mean, just because you don't agree with the current regime doesn't mean you should turn to demonic power. Yeah, exactly. You don't know if they're gonna be even worse, and trust me, Eris is probably worse than the king. Probably. We haven't met the king yet. You think this feeble attempt to blackmail will frighten me? I've dealt with far more formidable adversaries than you. There's nothing I can't solve with House Frigga's resources. What are you talking about? Lucio Steelwind isn't the type of person you can just buy. It's clear your time away has taught you nothing. Everyone can be bought. Before I left, he controlled all aspect of my life, or every aspect of my life. I saw him as this unstoppable tyrannical force, but I never considered one possibility, that William Frigga was a sheltered moron. He honestly thought he could pay off Lucio Steelwind. Anyone who's met him would know that it would never work. I could have sent this information to House Steelwind and the king, but I was running out of time. I needed to inherit House Frigga as soon as I could. I felt trapped, I felt angry, I just wanted something to change. A blood contract is still a legal contract, isn't it? I mean, it literally says demons are driven to trick and take advantage of humans. Exactly, and she still made a deal. What? Or at least they try and trick. They never take advantage, but they try and trick. But if they can't lie, that's what I think. If it's a contract, we can dispute it. We can find some kind of loophole to get you out of it. What? Trying to redeem the enemy you just defeated? You really are a heavens board. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I won't accept your help. What? Why? We can at least try, right? Did you seriously come this far just so you can die? To dispute a blood contract is to bet your own soul. If you fail to render it no, your soul will be dragged to hell alongside hers. Even your divine blood won't save you from that fate. But still, I can't just... You've beaten me, Mr. Cuthbert. I don't want to drag anyone else down with me anymore. Not you, not Lafay, not Miriam. Despite everything, I still have my dignity. I believe there's no further need to prolong this trial. Bailiff, please escort Lady Frigga and her familiar to a holding cell. I'll be passing my verdict shortly. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, as okay as I can be. Great. So now, Lafay is gonna be fucking upset with us because we damned her sister to hell. Miriam's gonna be upset with us because we damned her sister to hell. Axel's gonna be upset with us because we damned his former lover, says fiance, whatever, to hell. Arya's gonna be neutral. Timora's gonna be pissed. She's already pissed. The Eye Taker's gonna be pissed. Everyone hates our fucking guts just because we got the right verdict. This is what it means to be a prosecutor. As okay as I can be. Please let me be a defense attorney next time. I've had my fun, but now, oh boy. Cuthbert, we need to talk. What's done is done, but the boss isn't going to take kindly to what you've done today. I know it's a long shot, but maybe you can talk to him. No. Cuthbert, this is serious. He's going to send people after you. Dangerous people. You can't just ignore this. Are you really gonna believe this? Please just listen to me and shut up. Tyrion? How could you do this? How could you work with that criminals? Cuthbert, everything you told me, all those ideals were protecting the weak. It was all a lie. Everything Commander White said about you is true, isn't it? Just trying to... I don't want your help. Oops. I gave up everything for you. My childhood, my home, my happiness. All behind to chase the idea that you told me you were fighting for. It was never real, was it? You made me throw away everything, all for goddamn lie. To be fair, she is definitely not just wanting you for your best interest. She would have made you use your Eye of Horus as much as possible if she really wanted you to be, you know, use it. But she specifically did not want you to use your Eye of Horus. But I'll make it real, and I'll do it without you. Tyrion, you never cared about me, did you? All you cared about was using the Eye of Horus. That's not... Shut up. I don't want any more of your damn lies. Go away. Get the hell away from me. I never want to see you again. Oh, she's gonna die, isn't she? Tyrion. No. I can't believe. Tyrion, don't be a fucking idiot. You've already been an idiot by putting her aside. But at least it's a little bit understandable for you to be not mad at Timora, but hold on, he's saying no. What? Oh, I see. Huh? Sorry, I just really need this right now. Okay, at least I get this. At least you didn't push her away. Whew. Should I stop? No, it's just people are staring at us. Who cares what they think? They're nobles. They couldn't hate us no matter what we do. Ha! He's saying what she said to him earlier on. Hey Celeste, there's been something I've been wanting to tell you about. Oh, what is it? It's hard to explain, really. I don't even know where to begin. But it's about an ability I have. I call it the Eye of Horus. So either Timora's gonna die or Timora's gonna get redeemed. One of the two things are gonna happen. If they want to fucking twist the knife into him, they'll probably kill her off. Because he literally said, I never want to see you again. So what a fine mess this is. That kid has completely and utterly ruined everything. As much as Tomura hates it, we're going to need to put him in the ground. I don't think that would be necessary. Sorry, love, I know you're fond of him, but I can't let an assault like this go unanswered. He's going to have to pay the price. I think you've misunderstood me, father. Yeah, there we go. I meant this facade is no longer necessary. Yeah, Tomura's pretty deep. What in the hell? Is something wrong, father? Who the hell are you? You look nothing like my daughter, so why? It happened centuries ago, I believe. Your great ancestor hated the monarchy and needed a weapon to fight the mages of a noble household, so he made a pact with me. What are you talking about? Things didn't turn out like he wanted, I'm afraid. Poor Lord Larian's plot was discovered and his noble house was stripped of its rank and status. His name was stricken from the annals of history. Oh, he was the guy that I saw in the painting and then it disappeared. He was supposed to give me Wyvengard, but I had to settle for claiming his bloodline. Larian, how do you know about my name? No one knew about my name, not even my real daughter. I know it's been centuries, but I haven't forgotten, John. Everyone in your bloodline belongs to me, including your daughter. You bastard, what did you do to her? What did I do to all my prey? I made her suffer. No. Did you know she was crying out for you for months? I made her watch, you know. I made her watch as I took her place. Oh, while the father she was so desperately called out for forgot who she was. Oh, while my minions slowly and painfully tore her soul apart. Holy shit! You monster! You goddamned monster! I enjoyed her torment while it lasted, but even that couldn't satisfy me. What I really craved was the blood of a Celestial. That's what this is all about? That stupid kid? But I can't have you kill my dear Tyrion just yet. At least not until I'm done with him. You goddamn demon, I'll kill you. This man is your enemy. Your life's goal is and it's always been to exact revenge on him. What the hell are you talking about? I lost everything because of you. They kicked me out of the Inquisition because of your false testimony. But what? Let go of me. You killed my entire family. I won't let you get away with this. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Hey, isn't that the noble who killed all those children? Oh, he got released by paying off the judge. What are you all talking about? Get away from me. Don't lie to us. We know what you did. No, stay away. Jesus, damn. All right. We finally entered the final act, my dearest Tyrion. And from what I've seen, I think I know exactly how I'm gonna break you. Hope you're just as excited as I am. Oh, she's gonna kill Timor. I said at the beginning of this game, I was like, man, they're keeping the mentor character alive. Wow, I was like, that's revolutionary, but there's no way she's not gonna live, right? Next case. There's no way she's not gonna live, right? Next case. Okay. Are they gonna actually keep her alive? Nah, man. Nah. They're not gonna kill Celeste. So. And then he's gonna have to make peace with the fact that the last thing that he told her before he left was that he said that he never wanted to see her again. Good job. Good fucking job, Tyrion Cuthbert. You fucking idiot. Anyway, understandable why he was upset, but I think I am gonna call it now. And I got no one to raid. Yippee. Alright. We are going to end today. This has been fun. Tomorrow is Super Metroid. We'll finish off Super Metroid. Friday is, I don't know, maybe Bonanza, or maybe that's Saturday. I forgot which one. I forgot. But that's it, really. And then, yeah, we'll continue this again most likely next week. I don't think I have anything on Tuesday so far. But do I have anything on Tuesday so far? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Let's see. Oh, I do have something on Tuesday, but it's earlier in the day. Okay, that should be fine then. I'm most likely to start streaming Tyrion Cuthbert next week, and then we're on the last case, which will probably be like, I don't know, 2 streams or something, and then we're done. And it's gonna be fucking weird, but we're gonna go straight from that back into the Ace Attorney franchise with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles to finish off the finish off the year. All right, good night too, Charlesy. I'll see you around. Alrighty. Oh, I don't know. Go here. Put some music back on. And let myself be played out a little bit. But going right here. Until then, though, see you all around.